Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we're talking today about how all of you are using offense mods wrong. Now, as the title of the video says, mods are about to become a lot more important. You know, when Relic Delta was first announced, I said I wasn't sure if mods were going to maintain their value, if they were going to decrease value or increase in value. And I think the jury is still very much out. As I've harped on a lot, I promise I'll stop in, 2 weeks. But once this Pillars of War Datacron set goes away, I think we're finally going to get a better view of how mods impact the game. We'll get a better view of how Relic Delta feels. But I think a lot of players, their mods have been propped up by this set because the amount of stats you can get here is so ridiculous. The mechanics, the abilities from attacker, cron, support, all of these areas, we're able to kind of, fill the gaps that players' mods were filling. As someone who is heavily invested in mods, this set has been a disaster for me because I don't invest heavily in Datacrons comparative to most other players. So, obviously looking forward to this set going away. But we're going to talk particularly about offense mods, how most of you are using them incorrectly, and explain why it's important to mod your characters with this in mind, especially in the world of Relic 9, Relic 10, and Relic Delta. Being able to squeeze every last bit out of your mods is extremely important. So let's get in here, folks, and let's talk mods in Galaxy of Heroes. Alright, so let's just start off with, I'm gonna, some people are gonna get put on blast. No, this is not me. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance if I hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm trying to teach you guys, and sometimes that has to come at the expense. So let's just talk mods, let's talk mods in general. So when we go here to offense sets, when you run an offense set, you are getting 15% offense. Now, whether or not, thanks for the sub mid-video, Ryan Alexander. Appreciate that, my man. Thank you. While this goes away. That's actually I think it's the first time that's happened mid-video in a while. So the 15% offense here, you are sacrificing by running an offense set. You are saying, hey, that's worth more than 10% speed. That's worth more than 30% critical damage. That's worth more than 20% max health and 50% defense, etc. You're valuing that 15% offense at a very high level. So if you're going to run that, you need to recognize that, okay, I want to maximize it. And here I'm going to show just an average review. I built this very specifically to say this is about the average kind of offense set I see on a player. So we've got an arrow up here with 1% offense. A crit damage triangle offense set, no offense secondary. Got offense down here because it's a primary. Got a little bit of offense here, a little bit of offense here. And then, of course, you have the offense primarily there. So that comes out to 35.67% offense, right? And you say, oh, well, that's a decent bit of offense, Phil. 35%, that's pretty good. Well, I'm just going to pull up this secondary matters. This is 3 health sets. Speed arrow, critical damage triangle, offense. All the primaries are roughly the same. 35% offense. I am getting almost, it's 0.3 less offense here compared to the set before, and I'm not getting 15 from my mod sets. This is a far better mod. Now you say, oh, well, Phil, these are crazy. 3.9% offense. This is a primary. We've got 4% there, 5.45, 4.89. I'm going to tell you guys, honestly, none of these are that crazy. Right? None of these are that crazy. Even 5.45. That's not that crazy of a mod. 35%. Most, I can tell you, this is what most people do. I can get just as much offense with health, and I'm not even running the greatest of health, of offense secondaries here. This right here is why it's important to understand your secondary stats. Now, I'm getting just as much offense, and I'm getting way more health, right? I'm getting 20% more health, and I'm getting just as much offense. That's how much secondary stats matter. Just to show you an, example of, all right, if I go all out here, I mean, I've got 61% offense here with a critical damage triangle. Now, this is obviously a very, very, like good set. And look, I could even get more offense on this mod. This mod's offense is crazy. I could get more if I tried to slice its tenacity, but I got the speed, so I'm not willing to do that. But you guys see the point. I've got a lot of offense on these mods, right? A lot of offense, 61%. That's with a critical damage triangle with the offense secondary. And I talked about the importance of that offense secondary. You look here, I've got 61% there. I can get like 63 with an offense primary. So you can get a little bit more, but if you have good critical damage, if you have good secondaries, you can run that critical damage and you're not really losing that much offense. Like 2% at a 60% level, that's not that big of a difference, right? But adding 42% critical damage, that is big. And then just as an example, I know those are crazy. Here's my Shin, which I would say she has pretty just decent mods on an offense set. Got critical damage there. We've got, good offense down there. Got okay here, and I've got almost 50%. So all of this said, guys, it's pretty easy to get good offense percent on characters without going nuts. You just have to focus on the right mods. What I feel a lot of players do is they see offense percent and they buy the mod and slice it, right? They just buy the mod and slice it because, it's offense percent. It's got to be good. That's all that matters. And then they end up with a mod like this where it's got good speed, but it's got no offense percent, right? Like, that's not good. You want that offense percent. You need it, especially when you're competing at those higher levels of Territory Wars or Grand Arena, or you're in, say, like one of the most common questions I'll get asked is, Phil, how did you do this without, remodding? It's because my secondaries matter. There's so many things that by investing this way, you don't have to do as much remodding because your stats are there. You've already maxed out what you can do. So I'm going to put a few people on blast that I have, I feel confident that none of them will feel overly bad about this. But it's important just to demonstrate. So we're going to pick on Ali Gal's account. Now, she hasn't been on this. I don't think this is her main account anymore. We're going to pick on Drogon here. So we have a speed arrow up here. Now, it does have offense percent. So good job there. That's a good mod. Down here, crit chance, critical damage primary. No offense percent on the secondary. And as I explained before, this mod is only giving her 8 speed. If it doesn't critically hit, it's giving her 8 speed in the stats. Down here, we have an offense cross, but it's tenacity primary. So this is basically just a filler set. Like, that's not helping her. We've got no offense percent on the circle. We've got no offense percent on the diamond, which is crit chance. Like, you want to have that offense percent there. And then we've got, this one up here, which this is a good mod. So, you see, we're missing a lot of offense on Drogon, right? This is at 11,000 offense, special damage, 11,000 there at Relic 7. Now we're going to go down to one of my, another one of my channel members. We've got Danik and DeRozan here. So we go here, and I'm going to pick on Drogon because we were working on these mods the other day. Now this Drogon, not even 6-dot mods. We're at more offense already without the 6-dot mods. We start adding in 6-dot mods, and he is going to explode. Right? But you can see we've got offense percent in places. We just need to slice those up. We're going to get a lot more offense on this. And that's without slicing. So you think there's we get more offense already by just taking these up. So secondaries matter. But it's not just on characters like Drogon. There's a lot of people, and now I'm going to pick on Shitstorm. Now he'll tell me to he'll tell me to go stick my advice somewhere. But we go to Shitstorm here, and we're going to pick on his Reva. Now Reva at Relic 9, he's got 7754 physical offense. No offense percent there. No offense percent there. No offense percent there. Does have offense percent here. So of this set right here, he's getting 15% offense plus, say, 3 more from the secondaries. He's getting 18% offense from that set. That's it. That's the benefit of that mod set to him is 18%. That's just not enough. That's not enough to make it worthwhile running her that way. Mine at Relic 8, by the way, so mine's a Relic level lower at Relic 8. Where's she at? Come on. Where's Reva? There you are. Relic 8. If we look, got offense percent there, offense percent there, offense percent there. Even got it on my mods over here. I've got almost 1,000 more offense with one relic level lower. I go up a relic level, I'm at least going to get more than 1,000 offense. That does play a role. That does play a factor. So guys, the way a lot of you utilize offense sometimes is you get blinded. You just say, oh, it's an offense set, so it's a good mod. And, oh, well, it's got good speed, Phil. We are in an era of Galaxy of Heroes where speed is not the only thing that matters. There are plenty of teams that benefit from speed, but there are plenty now with Delta where it's far more important to have the stats to be able to back that up. And it doesn't just go for offense, but I'm using offense right now because I find this to be, if there's one set that I think the community at large does not understand how to properly use, it is offense. I cannot describe to you how many times I see people, or they have a Ray with an offense set, but no offense secondaries. I mean, at that point, just run health. You know, like 15% offense is nice, but if you're not building on that anything else, then you may as well just run all out health because it's just not, the benefit is not there. So I encourage you guys to really look at your mods and look, and this is the way you do this, right? Look for those hidden gems. Just go in and say, all right, let's go here and let's look for offense percent, right? And you could sort by offense percent. This way, you might find some on some people. Like I've got this one on mission, 6%. You know what? Maybe I'm going to move that to, say, you know, I got to look at who, like, doesn't need speed. I'm going to move this to, I don't know, Droideka, because, you know, that works. Like, that's the kind of stuff you can just look at and say, hey, does this character actually need that mod? But this is how you can look. You can find some of these randomly sitting in your account that you're like, you know what? I'm going to boost that up a little bit. I need to make that character a little bit better. This is how you do it. Just slowly, surely build them up. So with that said, folks, I wanted to cover offense because it is an area of the game that I think most people struggle with because they just get blinded by the set and they're not paying attention to the totality of the mod. Let me know what you guys think down below. I love you all. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.